Right now on Good Morning America First Look, the western wildfires turn deadly as another fire crisis erupts north of the border.
The recall of jalapeno peppers linked to a salmonella outbreak expands, affecting more products at major supermarket chains.
A boating tragedy near the Statue of Liberty, a mother and baby, part of a celebration on the water, losing their lives. What we're learning about the operator of that boat.
Hackers strike again. This time, a cyber attack shuts down a city's 911 operation.
Reports of a break-in at Kim Kardashian's mansion, what was reportedly stolen.
A bat foul reignites a fiery political debate in the WNBA.
Plus, a newly discovered shipwreck from ancient Rome.
And why one U.S. senator is lamenting the loss of his beloved vacuum cleaner.
From ABC News, this is Good Morning America First Look.
Good Monday morning, everyone. I'm Sophie Flay.
And I'm Hannah Patel. We begin with the deadly wildfire emergency in the West, where nearly 100 major fires are burning.
The smoke and heat creating unsafe air quality, and north of the border, another fire crisis.
This morning, deadly wildfires burning out of control in the West. Firefighters working to contain nearly 100 large fires nationwide. In Utah, hundreds of thousands of acres scorched. 2 pilots were killed fighting a 174-square-mile wildfire still burning. The helicopter, flying in an area of steep terrain, crashed, igniting another fire.
Unfortunately, the fire does not stop to let our boots on the ground mourn their comrades, so it's very heavy out there.
People in southern Oregon forced to evacuate as the Wright Spring fire grows in size. A contractor died while helping firefighters, the flames cutting him off from his escape route. Along the California-Nevada border, the so-called bug fire threatening homes near Reno. Across the region, extremely hot and dry conditions fueling the flames and straining firefighting resources. Officials forced to redeploy crews and shift equipment to the most dangerous areas. And north of the border, Canada battling its own fire crisis.
This fire is getting a lot closer.
More than 20,000 people ordered to flee their communities in British Columbia, now under a state of emergency.
Playing with the dog and noticed a big puff of smoke, and we started seeing all the soot come.
In Summerland, homes destroyed, flames jumping across this highway, drivers blinded by orange smoke.
Some relief is in sight. That record heat is expected to ease up later this week. We'll check your forecast in a few moments.
A scare on board a flight leaving Miami for Seattle. Pilots of the Alaska Airlines flight went into cockpit lockdown. The cabin crew reported 2 passengers threatening to take over the plane just after it pushed back from the gate. The pilots alerted flight controllers and shut down the engines.
The flight attendants have received threats from customers on board the aircraft.
Okay, do you need us to contact law enforcement?
Absolutely.
An investigation later found no credible threat.
The recall of jalapeno peppers linked to a salmonella outbreak is expanding. Grocery chains are now recalling foods with the jalapenos in them, including wraps, burritos, and salads. The 18 products were sold at stores including Kroger, H-E-B, Walmart, and Albertsons, with use-by dates between August 3rd and August 16th. Meanwhile, Taylor Farms, the company already linked to the lettuce-based parasite outbreak, is recalling products with jalapenos, including guacamole and salsa.
Now to the family tragedy in the water, not far from the Statue of Liberty. New details on a boating trip that went horribly wrong.
This morning, new details on the boat tragedy in New York Harbor that killed a young mother and her 5-month-old daughter. The 911 call came in just before 10:30 Saturday night. A 22-foot pleasure boat carrying 14 people had capsized near the Statue of Liberty.
Rescue boats are now on site. They're saying the baby might be underneath the boat.
I was just hoping that they would find them safely and alive, and hopefully they're okay and they make it.
12 people survived, but 27-year-old Sarah Sanchez and her baby did not. The family's neighbors in disbelief.
They were very friendly, very respectful.
Sanchez's husband, Andres Garcia, survived. His employer tells our New York station the couple was on that boat celebrating a friend's birthday. Their 6-year-old son was home with a babysitter. An online fundraising site set up by Garcia's colleagues says the young father must now find the strength to move forward and be there for their son. The boat's operator was arrested hours later, charged with reckless endangerment. The Coast Guard is investigating whether the boat was an illegal charter carrying paying passengers without the required credentials or safety equipment. The boat's operator has not publicly responded to the charges.
The first boat to reach the scene was a hot tub tour boat. They rescued 11 people.
The FBI is investigating a cyber attack that forced the shutdown of a small California city IT network, affecting its 911 operations. The attack prompted a state of emergency in Sassen City, about 55 miles north of San Francisco. 911 calls had to be rerouted through a county dispatch center. No word on who may be responsible.
Conflicting claims about peace talks with Iran. President Trump now says the U.S. is semi-negotiating and is, quote, low-keying the talks. Iran acknowledges exchanging messages but says no negotiations are underway. This comes as Iran-backed Houthi rebels claim responsibility for a deadly attack at a port on the Red Sea, sparking concern that more shipping traffic will be disrupted. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected the Gaza peace plan brokered by President Trump's Board of Peace. Netanyahu says Israel won't withdraw from Gaza until Hamas disarms. Hamas wants Israel to withdraw first.
Here at home, Democrats are preparing for another high-stakes primary in a swing state. In this race, one candidate is known for opposing Thanksgiving. ABC's Karen Hua has those details. Karen, good morning.
Sophie, good morning. The top contender in the race once called for canceling Thanksgiving, setting up a debate for Democratic primary voters on past statements versus future goals. This morning, the battle for the future of the Democratic Party moves to Wisconsin. Just one day to go until the primary for governor, where Democratic socialist Francesca Hong is taking on Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, the pick of the party establishment.
This race has been chaotic. It has been messy.
Polls show Hong with a commanding lead. The big question hanging over her campaign: can a Democratic socialist win a general election in a swing state? Hong, a state lawmaker and restaurant owner, is pushing for universal health care and a higher minimum wage. But she's been criticized for a 2020 social media post in which she called for canceling Thanksgiving, saying we should stop celebrating colonialism. She recently walked back that statement.
My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. Because I
there
love
you have it.
Thanksgiving. Yep. I don't want to cancel it. I actually love it.
The question of electability also being raised in Michigan after Abdul Al-Sayed narrowly won the Senate primary there. Now he's in President Trump's crosshairs. Trump posting this photo comparing himself and the First Lady to Al-Sayed and his wife, who wears a hijab. The caption: two very different Americas.
Yeah, he's right. One in which your overlords are two people who don't like each other but joint in the interest of making billions of dollars off of you.
Al-Sayed, who has pushed for abolishing ICE and opposes aid for Israel, has been described as Trump as a man of hate. Meanwhile, one of the stars on the left is making the personal political.
I have decided to start the process of freezing my eggs.
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez publicly documenting the process of freezing her eggs.
In this political environment where this administration is denying reproductive care to women across the country, from abortion rights to the ability to carry out a healthy pregnancy, I think it's important for us as leaders to have these conversations.
Ocasio-Cortez declined to endorse Hong in the Wisconsin primary, but said this about the new wave of so-called progressive candidates.
They are not beholden to any corporate interest or any party boss.
Ocasio-Cortez is now distancing herself from far-left positions like defunding the police, which she previously supported. She would not rule out a possible run for Senate or even the White House. Hannah?
It'll be interesting to see what happens there. Karen, thanks. Time now for your Monday weather.
Good Monday morning. We still have many fires burning in the west, and the elevated fire danger continues. California, parts of Idaho, Oregon, all the way to Wyoming, even parts of the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma during the day today. One little piece of good news: record heat, which has been afflicting the west, is going to be replaced by monsoon storms, which will cool it down a little bit. Cool it down means still 101 in Las Vegas by Wednesday. Denver could be approaching records On Tuesday, the heat dome will be shifting off to the east, along with some of the wildfire smoke, mainly aloft, though, as it heads toward the east coast. Meteorologist Jeff Smith, ABC News.
Coming up, a newly discovered shipwreck from ancient Rome.
Also ahead, questions about whether Mark Zuckerberg's yacht refused to help a stranded boat.
And the growing controversy surrounding Amanda Knox long after being acquitted of killing her roommate. We're back with an ancient Roman shipwreck thought to be more than 2,000 years old, just found off Sicily. One expert calls it one of the most important discoveries of its kind in recent years. It includes hundreds of clay jars, which the Romans used to transport wine and water.
Mark Zuckerberg is facing scrutiny after reports that his $300 million yacht refused to help a stranded boat off Alaska. A cruise ship that was farther away reportedly came to the rescue after Zuckerberg's yacht declined to assist. The boat, in need of help, had apparently run out of gas. A spokesperson says Zuckerberg was not on the yacht at the time.
Well, she was once convicted of killing her roommate, but long after the legal battle that ended in her acquittal, Amanda Knox is facing a growing controversy. Here's ABC's Alison Kosik.
This morning, the former boyfriend of Amanda Knox is speaking out about the new controversy surrounding Knox. The two were convicted, then later acquitted in the murder and sexual assault of Knox's foreign exchange roommate, Meredith Kercher, in Italy 19 years ago. Now, Knox is back in the spotlight, hosting a one-woman comedy show.
I've been trapped in a tragedy box.
Called Cartwheel, the show opened Friday in Scotland to a sold-out crowd and runs through August 17th. The title refers to claims that Knox did cartwheels in the police station after Kercher's death.
I'm referencing how I was wrongly vilified in the murder of Meredith.
The show is billed as a woman juggling motherhood and the aftermath of a wrongful imprisonment. But Knox's ex-boyfriend, Rafael Solicito, tells the Daily Mail, "I find it puzzling that a tragedy is being used as a draw for a comedy show. I am trying to process and move past what happened in a different way." Meredith Kercher's sister says Knox is trivializing violence against women.
I would have hoped that 2 decades on, we'd maybe have a little bit more empathy around using this theme and association in such a traumatic sort of, event in our lives.
An online petition to cancel Knox's show now has more than 40,000 signatures. Knox, who lives in the U.S. and has established herself as someone who campaigns for the wrongly convicted, says she's not surprised by the backlash.
I have always received criticism and pushback, no matter what I've done.
Another man was eventually convicted of murdering Meredith Kercher. He served most of his 16-year sentence. Hannah, Sophie?
Allison, thanks. Coming up, reports of a break-in at Kim Kardashian's mansion.
Also ahead, a bad foul reignites a political debate in the WNBA.
Back now with the shark prowling for its next meal among a school of fish off New York's Long Island. The increase in shark sightings has one mayor in New Jersey concerned about a potential attack. He's accusing fishermen of putting bait in the water in hopes of attracting sharks.
A man has reportedly been arrested at Kim Kardashian's Southern California mansion after breaking in and stealing a car. That's according to the LA Times. The suspect allegedly took the car for a joyride and is charged with burglary. No word if anyone was home. Kardashian had previously been targeted. She was robbed of $10 million in jewels at gunpoint in Paris 2016.
Now to a hot-button issue in women's basketball. The debate over transgender athletes is intensifying in the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark may be the future of the WNBA.
A deep launch to Marjani. No! The bank is open!
But this morning, it's her teammate, Sophie Cunningham, getting headlines.
Here's Cunningham up ahead of the field, lays it in, plus the foul, and then Cunningham gets into the face of DiJonai Carrington.
On Saturday, the Fever guard took a shot to the face from the Chicago Sky's DiJonai Carrington, who was then ejected. Moments later, Carrington posted a message on social media saying, "White privilege." Cunningham responded, "This has nothing to do with race. Last year, I did the same thing and I got kicked out, and I deserved to be kicked out. There's no reason even to play that card." Cunningham, an 8-year veteran, has been in the spotlight after recently telling ESPN, "I want to protect young girls in a locker room or young girls in a sport who shouldn't have to go against biological men." Those comments sparked rallies supporting her and protests against her at fever games in Seattle, Portland, and Minnesota, where the crowd booed her each time she touched the ball. Some in the league are pushing back. Lynx coach Cheryl Reeve saying, "We need to protect trans kids. Every kid has a right to sports." Now, the league itself is stepping in. In a new memo, WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert said the issue will be presented to a task force of team presidents and general managers next week. League rules say only women are eligible to play, but the contract language goes no further than that. The Players Union says it embraces inclusion, but warns we will not be used as political pawns. Cunningham says the league can handle the debate.
I do think that when you can come and have these conversations, it is so healthy.
The Fever said, quote, "Our players are thoughtful adults with their own perspectives and voices."
A Little League baseball team says its winning game plan is not based on hits and runs, but rather no cell phones. The kids from Port Washington, New York, tell the New York Post it's all about focus, which is why they turn their phones off 5 hours before games. And it's working. They're 2 wins away from the Little League World Series.
Oh, good luck to them.
Yeah.
Coming up, a misbehaving child on a flight leads it to being canceled.
Yeah, plus an heroic teen lifeguard meets the crew from Baywatch. Time to check the pulse. We begin with an unusual flight cancellation.
The passengers were outraged because a flight from British Columbia to Toronto had to be canceled after a child refused to sit down. The Porter Airlines flight returned to the terminal.
Yeah, then during the delay, the airport basically closed for the night, so everyone had to wait until the next day to fly out. Next, a warm reception for the California lifeguard behind a heroic rescue.
16-year-old Ryder Williams was invited to the set of Baywatch. Ryder got to hang out with the stars who play lifeguards on TV 2 weeks after he saved a child from drowning in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, the cast and crew presented him with an official Baywatch jacket. They said they were honored to have a real-life hero joining them. Next, the oldest member of the Senate is bidding a final farewell to an old worker.
After nearly 50 years of service, Senator Chuck Grassley's beloved vacuum cleaner, which he named Beth, has finally conked out. The 92-year-old senator posted a photo saying Beth had been a real workhorse.
Yeah, Grassley showcased Beth many times over the years. His colleagues are offering plenty of tongue-in-cheek condolences.
Next, an unusual world record.
A skydiver, who's also a tattoo artist, did the unthinkable. He gave himself a tattoo during this skydive, free-falling at 120 miles an hour. He actually had to duct tape the machine to the hand to get it done.
Oof. And finally, a river in Australia where the fish were jumping. Take a look at the fish jumping through the open window of that passing truck. Tour guides say they've never seen anything like it. Top headlines next. Checking more top stories, out-of-control wildfires in Utah and Oregon have now claimed at least 3 lives, all of them working to contain the flames. Nearly 100 large fires are burning nationwide, fed by extreme heat and dry conditions.
The water crisis gripping Puerto Rico is deepening because of severe drought. Hundreds of thousands of people are facing water restrictions with rotating shutoffs. Residents are lining up to fill jugs.
President Trump now acknowledges there's no video or proof of vandalism to the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. He now says there was, quote, contractor error in the rush to complete the renovation. The vandalism case against former Olympian David Hearn was dismissed.
Basketball Hall of Famer Don Nelson is being remembered as a true innovator who won more than 1,300 games as an NBA coach, the second most ever. Nelson died yesterday. He was 86.
Today's weather, lightning from storms in the southwest could ignite more wildfires. Severe storms in the Midwest and afternoon storms in the southeast.
And finally, a new start for a four-legged friend.
Here's Danny New.
I'm here and sick.
We have an update on a story we brought you in the spring about a gigantic Newfoundland named Chewy and his 96-year-old best pal, Barb.
It's really my dog. I hope she knows that she realizes it's my dog.
After warming millions of hearts around the world while they gardened together, Barb has sadly passed away. Her granddaughter, Amy, who lives next door with Chewy and her family, says it was very sudden and likely from pneumonia.
We were really upset about it, but, you know, she was 96. She lived a long, happy, healthy life. So I rest easy knowing that.
And we know she felt the love. Just a few weeks before Barb passed, Amy opened up a mailbox for her and Chewy to hear from their many fans. And as you can see, the letters and packages were seemingly endless.
Even though it was the last 2 weeks of her life, she still would read those letters to Chewy. Yeah, it was wonderful.
Chew, you gonna come out of the bathtub today, buddy?
But when this sudden loss came, Amy says Chewy was so sad he spent much of the day in the bathtub. They knew they had to do something.
Chewy, look!
The family sprung into action and adopted a Newfoundland puppy named Mabel, which was Barb's middle name.
So then we came up with the idea to get him a baby, a puppy. And he fell in love with her.
What are you guys doing?
Over the past few weeks, Chewy has been showing Mabel the ropes, including the essential duty of leading Amy's children to the bus stop. Now, Amy says they are basically inseparable. Even enjoying sunsets together, too, just like Barb and Chewy used to do.
He just softens up for her. It's really cute.
And guys, Amy says she hasn't tried gardening with Mabel just yet, like Barb and Chewy used to do. She said she's a little worried Mabel might just try to dig as many holes as possible.
They are too cute together. Danny, thanks. That's your GMA First Look.
Have a great day.